All three classes, the 125, 250, and 500s, would all race together in each moto, with each class scored separately. The bottom line, win every moto and you can't lose. The USA squad with riders Ron Lechien aboard a Honda in the 125cc class, Kawasaki's Jeff Ward in the 250cc ranks, and Honda's David Bailey in the 500cc class set out to do just that. They nearly succeeded. Lechien, number 3, blasted his way to 2 class wins in the 3 motos. Ward on the number 2 machine was even stronger. Ward went 3 for 3 as the class of the field. Bailey's job was tougher. He had to contend with Britain's David Thorpe, the newly crowned 500cc world champion. Bailey, number 1, turned in consistent finishes to lock up the American team's 5th straight world championship for national teams. In 1986, the rules were again revised, this time featuring only 2 classes per moto. The scoring remained the same, as did the bottom line to clear-cut victory. Win every moto. And that's what the American team did in a display of total domination. Number 2, Rick Johnson, the US 250cc national champion, led the way in Moto 1 from start to finish. However, it was the 125cc rider Johnny O'Mara who had the crowd cheering. O'Mara, on the number 3 Honda, carved his way through traffic to finish second and win his class. The Europeans didn't fare any better in the combined 500 and 125cc class moto. This time it was number 1, David Bailey, taking the moto win. O'Mara turned in another show of superior riding for his 2nd overall finish and another class win. Bailey and Johnson teamed up for the 3rd act in America's triple play. By the end of the moto, Bailey was so far out in front, he stopped to wait for teammate Johnson. The two crossed the finish line side by side with their hands in the air. The devastating superiority of the American team in their 6th championship win left the Europeans wondering if they could ever derail the red, white, and blue express. Reporting from Moto World, this is Dave Bowman.
And I started to have second thoughts.
Why? You've always been called a mud rider.
Not on a 125 at Unadilla, but I do have to admit it was a highlight of my career.
I'll bet it was. You know, that was a great event. And coming up next on Moto World, the rain, the mud, and all the excitement of the best riders in the world competing for the World Team Championship, Motocross to Nations at Unadilla. Bob, I can't thank you enough for being our guest on Moto World.
Thank you. It was great being here, but can I say one thing?
Sure.
For 3 years, I wanted to say this: keep your wheels on the ground and your feet on the pegs. For Moto World, I'm Bob Hanna. Can I still come back?
You've got a date, and so have you. Motocross to Nations is next. Stay tuned to the Nashville Network. Motocross to Nations is next. Stay tuned to the Nashville Network. In this year's 125 World Championship. The Dutch team is headed by former Unadilla winner Kees van der Ven. He's riding the 500 class. This year,